Hey, everybody. Welcome to PDQ Live. Today we've got a full house. Joining us is Brock, a new face, Ash. Welcome, Ash. Ash is going to join us for a segment a little later today. And then, the two old ones here, Tara and I. We're still here. Still.
I noticed you looked at me when you said old. That's interesting.
He included himself.
Oh, yeah, I see. I said us.
Oh, yeah.
Us. So today we've got a pretty good show. We're going to talk about Patch Tuesday. We're going to talk about Package Wednesday. We're going to show off some cool stuff in Connect.
Yes.
And then we've got a new segment. We're going to talk about what upcoming Lunch and Learn.
Oh, yes. With Ash.
With Ash.
Bash with Ash.
Bash.
Little preview, right?
Yeah.
Little preview.
Sneak peek.
A taster. A teaser, if you will.
A sampler.
Yeah. And then followed with some Discord awards, right?
Well, it's not awards
Not
this
awards.
time. It's what happened in Discord.
Yeah, Discord
this month.
update.
That's right.
What's what in Discord even?
It's, I want to say what I want to call it, but Drew won't let me, but I want to.
You can say it.
Can Kelly say it?
Oh, man.
Oh, my.
Kelly.
You couldn't help
Kelly.
yourself, could you?
Shh. Quiet. Kelly.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our Discord.
You waited till we were live.
I totally did.
And then you're like, he can't say no.
Okay, I do want to see how many users watching understand where
Yeah,
they're
Did
who?
anyone get that reference?
Who understands that? Greg. Yeah, Greg. There's my man.
All right. Well,
Thank
we're
you,
figuring that out.
Eric.
Maybe we should
Thank
jump
you.
in, right? Should we jump right in?
Let's go.
All right.
Patch Tuesday!
What happened, Brock?
It was
Lay it on us.
It was a pretty good month. This was an early Patch Tuesday, April 8th. This is about as early as they drop for us. But yeah, 122 total exploits patched. Pretty high for this time of year. Critical patches 11, also pretty high. But the saving grace, only one of those is actively being exploited. For, if that helps you sleep at night.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
So, wait, hold on. You said something. You said pretty high for this time of year. Is there seasonality to this?
100%.
How?
December is usually like a pretty off month. I think just bad actors, they celebrate the holidays just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so Decembers are usually pretty low, but last December was high. So yeah, we watch the trends, we see the rise and fall of these things. But yeah, so I mean, last month was pretty low. This month, pretty high. We work with it. Mm-hmm. But we had some good ones. We had several, 10 8.8 rated CVEs, some of those impacting ADCS, where you could elevate your privileges to system.
Again.
Yep. Also in there, we have Chromium-based Microsoft Edge. So if your user ends up on a malicious website, they could be exploited there as well for some remote code execution options.
That one was 0 click, right? You just had to be on the site.
I believe so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but that usually involves phishing as well. So they'll send you an email to try to entice you to their website. So yeah, don't click links. And also,
no more internet for you.
Yeah. Making another appearance this month, which I don't think it was there last month, but we're glad to see it back. Another LDAP vulnerability, especially crafted LDAP message.
We missed you.
Could result in some bad times. So, yeah, I mean, it was good, but there was one thing that I wanted to point out that we didn't cover in the video or the blog. Somebody had posted a comment on the video saying that when they deployed KB 5002700, it totally broke Outlook and the Word desktop application. As soon as they removed it, it went back to being fixed. So
cool.
Yeah. So there's that. So if you are if you're experiencing issues, maybe your test environment, because you're definitely testing the way you should be. But yeah, if you're having issues with Outlook or Word or something, definitely look for that KB. Might be the culprit.
Nifty.
Yeah.
I wonder what version of Outlook, what version of Word, right? What flavor?
Yeah.
There's got to be some is it a combination or is it just the presence? Who knows? Thanks for the heads up, though.
Yeah.
All right. We've got Package Wednesday, don't we, Kelly?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. We have some very cool packages. As a matter of fact, we are giving you the world, the actual world. We have Google earth in the package library, and also providing some tenacity, that extra little that you need to get through the day. We actually did find out Tenacity is an audio editing program.
Is it?
There was some sort of a disagreement between the Tenacity people and the Audacity people.
The
and so
Audacity.
They forked.
They forked. There's a fork in the road. The Audacity and the Tenacity. And finally, we have Mozilla Sea Monkeys. Or Monkey, singular.
All the
because
monkeys.
I don't think this is like the Sea Monkeys that we had when we were young.
Yeah, Kelly and I both were like, "Is this what we think it is?"
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I am not sure, but I am sure that they do not come from the Great Salt Lake like all the other sea monkeys in the world that are just little brine shrimp that you can grow.
Well, spoiler alert, you're just ruining that.
I know.
So you never did that as a kid?
Did you never had sea monkeys?
They had video games when he was a kid.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I do remember seeing.
So what were you doing?
in
Just
the
watch an
magazines
aquarium
as a
of
kid.
brine shrimp?
It wasn't even an aquarium. You just put them in water.
Hey,
and
put
then,
them in water, and they hatch, and then they're dead very shortly thereafter.
Listen, we were kind of bored, 70, 80 kids, so
Yeah.
You're not 70 or 80.
70, born in the
70s or 80s. But there's your Package Wednesday update. Go thy way and patch some more.
Thanks, Kelly. Alrighty, next up, let's dive into Connect, shall we? I always think that that's in the stinger,
I do
and then I
too.
see his face, and I'm like, he does it every time.
He does the best sound effects. I love him.
So a couple of weeks ago, we've dove into the process and services tab, right? That are now live in Connect. And so today we thought we'd take a little deeper dive into both of those and show you some cool things that you can start to do to automate your life and make things a little bit easier. So as a reminder, these are now new here, services for devices. You can take action, right? Start, restart, stop. And same thing with processes. You can see the name, the PID, and CPU and memory usage, things like that. But what I wanted to do is show you what you can now start to do with collections, right? Because of this. So now I can start to do dynamic collections, and I can say, hey, show me computers where like there's a process consuming 4 gigs of RAM or more, right? So this is like anything that's heavy. Obviously, you do something like Exchange or SQL or Postgres. This is always going to be there because those things just eat memory. That's kind of what
Or
they
you left
do.
Chrome on for a day.
Yeah,
Everyone uses Chrome.
yeah, right. So you can start to get kind of some real-ish time, right? These are based off of like last check-in, right? Maybe we can start to see things that are more like process. Maybe Explorer's using more than 10% of a CPU usage.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, you can start looking at like services that are stopped that maybe shouldn't be. Okay. So now that we've got these collections set up or a framework of these groups set up, we can start tying them to automations.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe this one here, let's maybe go start some of these. This one is looking for services whose name contain PDQ, and the status of that service, because we have an AND operator, is stopped. So we've got the scan set up. We've got groups. Now we can build an automation, right? Well, actually, let's build a package first.
So this service is off. I want to take action in mass on the groups of computers that it's off on.
Yep, start PDQ service. Right, we're going to add a script step. And maybe the service we want to start is PDQ deploy. Start PDQ deploy. Right, so now we have our package. So group package, we go to an automation, create an automation, say keep deploy service. If I can type running.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to do something silly here. Just
Because you're going to be safe because this is safe.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to say deploy the what did I call it? Deploy
Service. There it is.
start deploy service. So now I have the name, the package, and the trigger is automatic. So now when a device goes into this group, the service stop that shouldn't be, it's going to fire off that package every single time. So this can get kind of dangerous, kind of quick though, right?
It's Because it's going to go all the time, right?
Yeah. Maybe you have like a crash loop where it's like, oh, I crashed the process.
Start and start.
And start and stop and start and stop and start. So be careful as you do stuff like this. But those are some of the like pitfalls you might fall into when you're taking action on this. So I just wanted to call those out.
So I could use this for like print spooling, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, like the print spooler is stopped. Maybe you just want to restart that daily or something, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember I worked at a mortgage company, and speaking of printers, call back to pre-show, the amount of paper that place went through was insane. Right. And it was always like, I remember I could probably type net stop spooler, net start spooler in probably a second and a half at what point, just because like that was always the fix action.
Yeah. Okay. I love that.
But just a kind of a quick way to automate and keep on top of some other things with processes and services.
Yeah, one of the things I used it for is I created a group that was like, you know, if you're updating browsers and stuff, sometimes you'll push out an update and it'll want to restart the browser, and maybe you don't want to push that out if people are like actively using it and doing stuff. So what I did was created a group that was like, hey, these are members of Google Chrome old, and the checks to see if the services or the process is running too. So if it's not running and they're a member of Google Chrome mode, go ahead and update it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it can be like those sanity checks, you know, and maybe a restart after. All right. So there's a little quick deep dive into processes and services and some cool things you can do with them.
I love it. I love that you can take action too. Stop, start, and love it.
Okay.
Perfect.
We've got a special guest with us here today for this next segment, right?
Yes.
All right, Terry, kick us off. Introduce Ash.
Hi, Ash.
Hello.
Ash, tell
Nice
us
to
your
be here.
title. Tell us your official title.
Official title. I am a DevOps engineer. Been here for about 4 months now.
That long?
I think so. Something like that. Yeah, they pulled me out of their out of my cave. So I'm here in front of y'all.
Okay.
He hasn't been here long enough for people to warn him to stay away from
I know.
us.
Well, I
Yeah.
got to tell you, Ash, the first time I saw you, you know what I thought? I'm like, that guy looks super cool. Like, you just have the coolest look about you.
Thank you.
Honestly. And
Tease this.
I ask you to come on. Actually, I prey on people at lunch. That's my deal. That's what I do.
Oh,
You
that's what
figured
that
this
was.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to have people in Discord from PDQ to chat with our customers and hopefully expand their skill set, their knowledge base. And so we have a ton of smart people at PDQ. Spoiler alert, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw you and I'm like, hey, this guy knows stuff. I could tell. So then basically...
The glasses.
I know, it's the glasses. That's right.
Glasses.
I basically saw you at lunch and I'm like, hey, would you be willing to chat with our customers? That was kind of what happened, right? But it's a little more organic. I was super
Right.
smooth about it. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep. You've practiced this a lot.
I have, yeah. I talk to
Don't give too
people.
much credit. Okay.
So you know Bash.
Yes, I do. Just
And
a little bit.
with Mac devices coming into Connect, we thought, hey, this might be a great time to learn a fun language
Yeah.
that works with Linux and Mac and anything Unix based, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
you're going to come into Discord this next week, this next Tuesday, in fact, and do a class on Bash
Yes.
With Ash.
with Ash. Bash with Ash, you guys. Clever, no?
Right? Excellent stuff.
So we're going to do a little teaser for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
How do we want to connect my laptop again?
Oh, that was a great question.
Yeah.
I think we were going to do Zoom, weren't we, guys?
Yeah, we'll Slack you a link. Are you Slacked on there?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do.
We'll
Okay.
Slack you a quick link, and then we'll have that.
So
all-
while you guys are doing that, let's maybe talk through like what are some use cases.
Well, like the roadmap. So,
The roadmap, yeah.
Speaking of me stalking people and chatting with them, this morning when I was stealing this swag, I was talking with one of the Connect developers, and kind of long term. So don't go crazy, customers. Obviously. Bash will be the language that the Macs chitty chat with inside of Connect.
Did you say chitty chat?
Yeah, I totally did. I'm very
Okay.
technical. I'm highly technical. And so there will be an interface. Are you
Yeah.
watching Ash or talking to me?
Both.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to multitask here. We're trying to get the thing on the screen. I'm listening to you.
Okay, yeah. And they obviously didn't give me a time frame with which to do it, but that's the long-term goal, is a back end command line interface that is interactive.
Well, yeah, like you think about it, like interacting with a Windows box. It's PowerShell.
Yep.
Or what is the word for it? Just the other shell in Windows.
Yeah.
Just command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just command?
I think it's
Command
command prompt.
Or is it batch?
Bash with Ash. Oh my God, that hurt. That actually hurt my head.
Okay, let's not do that anymore.
No.
But like similar thing with Macs.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
all right, it looks
Are
like
we
we're ready to
connected?
show this thing.
I'm
all right,
connected.
let's
Sure.
show some bash.
All right, how's that looking? Can everyone read it?
Terminal. Look, they're helping us.
Yeah,
They're like,
they
you
are.
guys are so stupid. Let's talk
I know.
for you. Okay, perfect.
All right. So yeah, right here I just wrote up some pretty straightforward testing code or easy code for Bash.
Straightforward, he says, and bash in the same
Yeah.
sentence.
I mean, as straightforward as it gets.
Yes,
Stop it. You said.
Did he? I don't think so.
I didn't.
So yeah, at the outset we just have some extra like verbosity settings to essentially say, one, give us make sure it fails in case one of these steps fails, make it all fail. And with any language whatsoever, you've got to learn how to print hello world. So the command to do that is echo, and then we've got a little function definition here. Bash does something that's a little different. If you've worked with any higher level programming language, you usually define functions separately and define parameters here. No, Bash has to do something special where they have indexed operators. So essentially, you can have as many parameters as you want to supply to the command, and you just increment up the parameter value.
Yeah,
So-
because that's not going to be confusing when there's 37 params.
No, I mean, hopefully you avoid that.
I'm just teasing.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
It does make sense though. It
Yeah.
does make it easier to read, especially when you're writing, because there is no there's a right way,
Yes.
but there is no right way
Right.
to write. So if you're writing it like Ash is writing it here, it actually is easier to read than the person who stuffs it all on a single line.
Yep.
And you end up with smudge marks on your screen as you're trying to figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. There's fancy stuff you can do with it, but it does kind of get a little more obfuscated. And
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, this is just a little function to check. Can we actually run the command that we're trying to? And then it does some checks to make sure we have some of the dependencies installed. Like curl is it's essentially the utility to make little post or get or any sort of internet HTTP requests, really any kind of protocol requests. And then JQ is a JSON parsing utility that I use a little later. But essentially, we just have this making a request to just a simple JSON API, pulling some information, and then saving that out to a file. And nice thing about Bash is that it has, it's meant to interact directly with your operating system. So file handling is a key part of how this language works.
And that's why you had that pipeline fail up at the very
Yes.
top.
Yes.
So if you checked those dependencies, if for some reason curl was non-existent, the entire thing would fail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and then it does a little bit of manipulation of that file, saying hey, how many lines do we have, and then printing that out. And you've got your variables, you've got file writing, and then shall we give it a run?
Yes.
We have to
Alright.
run it, or else who knows if it actually works.
Good point.
How do you run? Let's say I'm very unfamiliar with the Unix world.
Okay,
How do I get there?
So first of all, you have to have a terminal open. You can either do that through VS Code has nice integration with its terminal. You can also just open up. All Macs come with their own terminal. Essentially, instead of running Bash as a shell, you'll be running Z shell. But you can also install various other ones. There's a bunch of ones that work with Bash. But anyway, to execute something, you have to essentially invoke it from wherever it is in your file system. So I'm in the directory that the intro.sh file is. So I just call it // and then the file name. So
Because the dot implies the current working directory.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so calling that prints all the things that we expect it to. So it's hello, pulling the information. So that's where it's running the curl request, pulling it out, saving it to a file, and then it parsed that file and said, oh, we have 100 post titles in that file, which lines up with the 100 lines of text we have here.
That's magic.
Yeah.
The other thing I kind of want to pull out, if you go back to your intro.sh at the very top, right? That very first line up here, starts with bang, bin, bash.
Yes.
You see this like almost all of the time.
Yes.
And people just like, oh, I just have to copy paste this. But maybe take a second and explain, why do we actually put that there and what does that imply?
So this is essentially implying which bash executable or binary we're running to run this file. So this is referring to, in any Unix system, your root and then your bin directory, the bash executable.
Yep.
So it's specifying a specific one so that you essentially maintain a specific environment for bash.
Because you could have multiples.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
you could, and they could have different dependencies and different versions and stuff like that. So maybe, I can't think of a use case, but there's probably a use case in where you'd need to specify a different version.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. This is a fantastic little teaser, right? Like,
Yeah.
Bash is amazing.
Mhm.
It's, from my perspective, it's frustrating.
Yep.
It's frustrating because it's hard for me to read and write, but it is highly, highly useful.
Yep.
So we are going to post the event maybe today, probably today. Andrew's in the chat. So I'm thinking today, maybe first thing Monday. So if there are things that you want to learn about Bash, maybe you just want to hang out with Ash because as I noted, he's super cool. Look at him. Look at him. How cool he is. Please put him in Discord. Let me know what you want to learn and Ash will cover it.
Oh, so
And
this is like
also-
a crowdsourced, tell me what you want to learn?
It is.
I love that.
Greg, right there, he also knows Bash, and he's going to join as well, just because he's fun, too. We love Greg.
And
yeah, tell
CM
us.
just volunteered to teach regex the following week.
He did?
We'll be in touch.
Okay, good. We actually have something for the next week as well. We are just going to try to make you guys so smart. It's ridiculous. It's going to be amazing.
Cool.
Thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Ash. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Alrighty. Our last segment for the day. I think this is the one you've been most excited for.
Yes.
All right, why don't you intro it? You're so excited for it.
I
You
am.
got 13 pages on it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Discord.
Look at that.
Are you waiting for Kelly to say
Yeah,
Days of
I
Our Lives?
was.
You were?
You wanted it
I
again?
already did it.
I thought there was music. I don't know. He said,
You wanted
wait.
him to do it again.
I don't know. You know what? I never know if he's gonna do sounds. I just wait
All right,
patiently.
all right. Hold up.
Okay, do a sound.
Community showcase.
Oh my god, that was amazing. That was so good.
That was smooth.
That was amazing.
Great. All right.
Oh my gosh, look, we're growing. This was, I think, when I did this Tuesday, we have 5,583 members. There's probably more now.
There's probably 5,584 or 5 or 6.
How many things can I throw at your head today, do you think?
I don't know.
It actually, there are so many, it's insane.
There are 5,592 as of this
Holy
moment.
Wow.
I would have got there eventually.
Yeah.
I was going the right direction.
Yeah.
We're fully boosted. And again, as I said before, I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
Who
It
does
sounds
know what that means?
really good.
I know
Nobody tell her.
Andrew would know, but
Nobody
he's
tell
not
her.
here to help.
Nope, nobody tell her. We're just
Nobody
going to
tell
let
me.
this ride.
Nobody tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, helpful moments. And again, shout out to Marcel, as always, old PS Noob, super helpful. I tried to grab new ones, like to spotlight different people. So I love this one from Fortress. It's so tiny I can't even really read it, but helping someone else. Oh, I have to look
Yeah,
here.
you got a custom file scanner going on
Yep.
and a report.
Yep. I really love to see everybody helping each other out. So I just copied someone. And this was Brockstar, man. Look at this.
That was just my article. It wasn't actually me.
I know, but you wrote something that was helpful.
Why do you say it
Didn't
like
have
it's so
to say it like
surprising?
that.
He was giving
didn't
me
have to
crap
sound so
earlier. I had to.
surprised.
I had to.
Brock,
Okay.
your
Yeah.
articles are amazing, and
They are.
that was
Actually,
just rude.
Aw.
there was a few of them, Brock. There was a few of your articles that were super helpful.
You know,
this month.
I honestly it's probably my favorite part of the job is like
Mm-hmm.
just providing like something that helps somebody else. Like if I'm
Yeah.
talking to like solutions or sales and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we love this article because we get to send it out because we get asked about it all the time from
Mm-hmm.
customers," and it's awesome to see it in Discord, like somebody like this old PS noob like
Mm-hmm.
linking to it, you know, and saying like, "Oh yeah, they've actually already covered this whole topic at length," you know. That's
This
really awesome.
Outlook problem was really making people grouchy this month, so they definitely
Yeah.
liked this one.
Yeah, speaking of that, I read somewhere, I can't like confirm this, but like if you had like the OWA enabled or disabled, that also disabled the new Outlook too. Like people couldn't use it. It was the inverse problem. People wanted the new Outlook, but they had disabled OWA, so they couldn't do both. So Outlook's a mess.
Okay.
Surprise!
It is. Okay, so this phone one I loved because he needed the new one, and he's like, which one do you want? And then even provided the link. So this one was extra fun. I like this one quite a bit.
Oh yeah, like
so
if you need those old firmware or software for stuff, and
it's a pain.
it's behind like a login wall.
Yeah, you're like, ugh.
And this is like exactly what we wanted Discord to be, right? We
Yeah.
wanted like, hey, this is a home for just sysadmins, not just PDQ users. This is a home for sysadmins to come and be like, post about anything. You know,
Yeah.
what tech are you working on? Because we almost guarantee that there's other members here that have already like walked in your shoes and like been through this journey and can help out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of broken glass. We've all walked over it.
Yep, exactly. This one was just cheering each other on, studying for a test. I'm nervous about it. And then I love to see this. How did it go? I passed. Yay.
Yeah, so not only
Love
like this is a definite sense of community, right?
Yeah, this one
Like,
was my favorite.
Yeah, I love this. Congrats, also.
Congrats. Yeah.
Beard.
And then PowerShell Wednesday, if you haven't already, these are very popular. Every Wednesday, Andrew hosts PowerShell Wednesday, and these are his guests this month.
Yeah, the recent ones.
Big
Yeah,
names.
Jeff Hicks, Don Jones, PowerShell in a month of lunches. Anyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I make one quick plug for Andrew? He is right this moment at the PowerShell Summit in Bellevue. 2 days ago, he sat down for over an hour interviewing Jeffrey Snover and Don Jones together. So you have the creator and the godfather together talking about PowerShell. That will be coming out as a podcast episode probably within the next 3-4 weeks.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an exciting.
I mean,
one.
it's like Andrew impresses the crap out of me with the stuff that he gets done. I know he was just awarded an award at the PowerShell Summit, but like being able to put together these PowerShell weekly lunch and learns with these huge guests and getting guests for PowerShell podcasts and everything, like that guy is seriously pushing the PowerShell agenda, and he's doing a great job at it.
Yeah. He's so nice too.
we have so many events.
He does.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. And then we've just started adding the webinars into Discord, which is fun. So this is just one that Andrew and I and Brock did together, the IT showdown, and the customers helped us out so much with this in Discord. They actually kind of acted as solutions, which was amazing. So there was tons of questions that we just kicked into Discord, and it was so awesome to have them answer questions as Andrew and I were fighting. And I just want to say again, I totally won. Whatever. Anyway, so that was fun.
It was rigged.
Oh,
He paid me.
Hey, what? Actually, I was my product was Connect, so you know. Anyway, we also did 4 weeks of Severance talk where we all watched the show Severance, and then we had weekly events where we talked about it. So this one was really fun. I loved doing this one.
Yeah, this was awesome. Somebody even mentioned in there, I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the chat was like, I just finished all of season 1 Severance just because of the intro. Like I wanted to understand the intro, so like I got to watch what the show's about.
Yeah, it's just fun to get to know people. I like this. I like the community thing. And then this is just some things I took of how our customers know each other. Everyone seems to know that Micah loves Dr. Pepper. So I like that. Everyone like makes little gifts of different Dr. Pepper flavors and tags him. And then we all seem to be obsessed with goats. So that's funny.
Wait, are goats not a callback to Severance?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to
It
talk
can be,
about
yeah.
goats before because one of the customers has goats on his farm.
Oh,
So it kind of predates Severance, but yes, they are that too. So anyway, so if you're not in Discord, you gotta go. It's fun. It's a good place to be.
yeah. I don't appreciate the call outs of everyone's like, what's Josh's lurker account? I
Well,
saw
they
those
want
earlier.
you to be in there.
I am in there.
Do you know how many Joshes there are in there?
How many?
I tried to tag you the other day, totally being nice as always.
Yeah.
I think there's like 9 Joshes.
Perfect. See, that's the best way to hide is in plain sight.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah.
There
exactly.
are other Joshes, but you're the Josh.
You know what? That should be our challenge. You guys try to find Josh.
How about we don't? How
Everyone
about
tag
new?
Josh right now. Right now.
How about new? Alrighty.
All right. Hey, you guys, thanks so much. Ash, special
course.
thanks to you.
Happy
I
to
can't
be here.
wait for Tuesday.
Me neither. It's gonna be good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for another great show for PDQ. I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
I'm Brock.
I'm Ash.
Thank you for joining our webcast today. Do us a couple favors if you wouldn't mind. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube and leave us your comments. We love those as well. And don't forget, join us on Discord. That's where the party happens every single day here at PDQ. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next time.